Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into Chapter 5 of our Norse Mythology series. Are you ready to meet the mighty Thor, the Thunder God? Let's get started. We begin our journey through the realm of the Norse gods, meeting Thor, a figure whose booming laughter echoes across the skies, and whose strength shakes the very foundations of the earth, also known as Jötnar in some Germanic traditions. Thor's name strikes fear into the hearts of giants. While bringing comfort to the mortals he protects, a god of thunder, he is also associated with fertility, growth, and justice. But where does Thor draw his strength from? Who are his parents, and how did he become such a powerful deity? Well, Thor's parentage is a bit complicated, and there's a little confusion even among the Norse. Some tell tales of him being the son of Odin, the All-Father, and the earth goddess Jötnar. Others claim that Frigg, Odin's queen, is Thor's mother. Regardless, what is certain is that Thor was born with immense strength, capable from birth of lifting 10 bear hides. This showcases his extraordinary power and foreshadows the incredible deeds he will accomplish in his lifetime. From this point on, Thor becomes one of the principal deities of the Norse pantheon, taking his place alongside Odin, Frigg, Bragi, and the other honored gods. But what kind of childhood did Thor have, and how did he grow up? It's here that we learn about Thor's foster parents, Vingir, meaning the winged one, and Halora, the personification of lightning's heat. Despite his godly nature, Thor was raised by mortal parents, perhaps to keep his powers in check or to teach him humility. Under their guidance, Thor grew into a formidable god, mastering his abilities and learning the values of courage, justice, and compassion. As a young god, Thor faced many challenges that tested his strength and resolve. But he always stood up to defend the weak and innocent, earning him the respect and adoration of mortals. Thor's deeds quickly made him a legend, his name whispered with awe and reverence. Now let's talk about Thor's home. As one of the most powerful gods, he resides in a grand palace called Mjölnir, meaning lightning, located in Asgard, the realm of the gods. Mjölnir is the largest palace in all of Norse mythology, boasting 540 halls. Thor's palace is a testament to his wealth and status, but it's also a symbol of his generosity. He welcomes anyone who seeks refuge or aid, offering them food, shelter, and protection. In fact, Thor opens his doors to all, regardless of their social standing or beliefs. He extends his hospitality to the souls of the poor, the enslaved, and the weary travelers, treating them as equals to the warriors in Odin's Valhalla. Inside the magnificent halls of Mjölnir, the atmosphere crackles with energy as the spirits of those Thor has saved enjoy feasts, games, and lively music. The halls are adorned with treasures from across the 9 worlds, each item telling a story of adventure and heroism. But it's Thor's heart, not his riches, that truly makes his palace a sanctuary for all. He listens to the stories of those who come to him seeking help, and offers his support and guidance whenever he can. Now let's turn our attention to Thor's sacred weapon, the legendary hammer Mjölnir, meaning crusher. Crafted by dwarven craftsmen, this magical artifact is more than just a tool of war. It's a symbol of thunder and fire, representing Thor's immense power and unwavering determination. When Thor swings Mjölnir, it roars like a thunderstorm, sending bolts of lightning crashing down on his enemies. With uncanny accuracy, it never misses its mark, slaying frost giants with ease and returning to Thor's hand, no matter how far it is thrown. To wield Mjölnir's scorching heat, Thor wears iron gauntlets which protect his hands from the burning sensation of gripping lightning. But that's not all. Thor also dons a magical belt, Mjölnir, which doubles his already immense strength. When he tightens the belt, he becomes unstoppable, capable of performing feats that seem impossible. For the Norse, Mjölnir held deep religious significance. They often made hammer-shaped gestures while calling upon Thor for protection. They also blessed marriages, births, and funerals with Mjölnir symbols, ensuring that Thor's presence brought blessings and prosperity. But Mjölnir wasn't the only treasure bestowed upon the gods by the dwarves. For Sif, the golden-haired goddess of ripened grain, the dwarves crafted a new set of flowing locks after a mischievous Loki had stolen her original hair. Can you imagine the audacity, stealing a goddess's hair? Well, Loki was forced to seek out the clever dwarven craftsman Dvalin, who wove golden threads that rooted into Sif's scalp, growing more radiant than her previous hair. And speaking of Loki, he wasn't the only one who benefited from the dwarves' skills. During a friendly wager, Odin was gifted Gungnir, his invincible spear. Freya received Blonir, a ship that sailed through air and sea and could fold itself small enough to fit in a pocket, and Thor got Mjölnir, the hammer. However, Brock, another dwarf, won a bet against his brother Eitri, so he received special honors and was given even greater gifts. For Frey, Brockr made a golden boar named S. Odin, a ring called Draupnir, and for Thor, the mighty hammer Mjölnir. These gifts were considered superior to those from Eitri, as Mjölnir ensured Thor's victories over the frost giants. When Loki lost a wager against the gods, he was sentenced to be bound with cords until his lips were sealed, preventing him from speaking. Now, being the trickster he is, Loki managed to convince Thor to tie him up, saying only his lips would be sewn shut, not his eyes or ears. And wouldn't you know it, Thor found himself unable to sever Loki's head. That's just classic Loki, escaping danger at the last moment with a quick wit. Once, Thor and his servant were journeying to Utgard when they encountered a fierce frost giant named Hrungnir, who challenged Thor to a duel. Faced off against Hrungnir's allies, who had crafted a giant made of clay to fight him. Using his wits, shattered the giant, proving his valor and intelligence. Meanwhile, Thor and Hrungnir faced off in a battle for the ages. But the frost giant pinned Thor to the ground with his massive body. No one could free Thor until his young son Magni, born to the giantess, stepped forward. Despite being only 3 days old, Magni displayed incredible strength and lifted the corpse, earning his father's approval. After the battle, the sorceress Groa tried to remove a flint shard embedded in Thor's head, but she couldn't do it herself. Instead, she sent for Clint, who succeeded in removing the shard. Afterwards, the gods feasted, and scattered pieces of the flint flew through the air, becoming fragments of Hrungnir's former club. People who found these flints believed they possessed magical properties. In another famous adventure, Thor's hammer, Mjölnir, was stolen by the tricksy frost giant Thrym, who demanded Freya as his bride in exchange for its return. Loki, disguised as Freya, approached Thrym, only to discover that the giant had already married the goddess. However, he found out that Thrym was wearing Mjölnir on his finger like a ring, believing it to be a children's toy. Sneaky Loki tricked Thrym into letting him play with the hammer, and when the giant took his eye off Mjölnir for just a moment, Loki snatched it back and returned it to Thor. But before that, he paid a visit to the giant Geirr, whom he had tricked into hosting Thor previously. While scouting ahead, Loki used Freya's falcon cloak to spy on Geirr and his daughters. However, the giantess Grid, one of Odin's lovers, warned her father about Thor's impending arrival. Geirr's daughters, fearing Thor's wrath, hid under his bed, and when Thor entered the hall, they accidentally crushed him along with his chair. Unafraid, Thor grabbed a molten iron bar that Geirr had hurled at him with his bare hands, caught it with gauntlets borrowed from Grid, and flung it back, piercing the giant. Then Thor reclaimed his weapons, leaving Geirr's body to be turned to stone. Alright, now that we've delved into Thor's epic adventures and explored the origins of his legendary hammer Mjölnir, it's time to uncover the profound impact he had on the people of Northern Europe during the Viking Age. Thor stands as one of the most beloved and widely venerated gods in Norse mythology. His image was so ingrained in the culture that his temples were found throughout Scandinavia. During the summer solstice, the locals celebrated his triumph over the giants by burning huge logs. Flames represented the warmth of the sun, driving away the chill of winter. These festivities were more than just religious rituals, were a testament to the importance of fertility and growth in Norse society. Red was Thor's favorite color, symbolizing life, courage, and love. Brides adorned themselves in red dresses, and Thor's hammer was sculpted on ruby-studded wedding rings. These traditions show how deeply rooted Thor was in everyday life, even in such intimate moments as marriage. Statues of Thor, like those of Odin, were found all over Scandinavia. These wooden statues were not just religious artifacts, but also works of art depicting Thor's strength and power. Some of these statues were so revered that people believed they consumed nightly offerings. In 1030, King Olaf ordered the destruction of one of these statues, because he wanted everyone to worship only him. He demanded that his servant pray for sunny weather, promising to grant that wish if Olaf became king. But Olaf forgot his promise and claimed the sunshine as his own miracle. While the crowd was distracted by his sermon, a local resident snuck into the temple, chopped down the statue, and revealed the rats that had made their home inside. This event solidified Olaf's belief that he had divine favor, showing the lengths people would go to protect their faith and their traditions. So remember, as long as Thor's spirit lives on in the hearts of the people, his power and influence will endure. So there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the tales of Thor, the mighty thunder god, and witnessed his bravery, strength, and unwavering commitment to justice. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Also, if you want to stay updated on all our Norse mythology adventures, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks for joining us on this amazing journey through the realms of Norse mythology. Until next time, may your days be filled with sunshine and your nights with starry skies.